Well, I work for Air Linux team in Adobe Systems, and with me are Dipanjan and Ajay Bansal. They work for BlazeDS, which is a different product. So today we'll be talking about two products from Adobe, that is Flex Framework and BlazeDS. So I would be talking about Flex Framework first, would be around half an hour session, and after that these two guys will be taking over. Is that it would be an overview of Flex Framework. So guys who don't know about Flex Framework, it is going to be useful. It would be, I mean, if you haven't ever developed an application using Flex Framework, it would be a good resource material for you. But in case you have already can't cover all those things, so probably you can skip some part of it if you already know that. Open source scans. Yesterday also I saw a tweet last night that this open source camp is a big failure because Microsoft softwares are being used and Adobe Flash is being used. So, I mean, let's try to make some clarifications today. If I can do that, probably that would be amazing. So, Adobe is actually pretty much into open source. It is making pretty decent effort. So in different ways. So the first is actually creating products which are completely open source. So the two products that we are going to talk about today, they're completely open source. So the Flex Framework and the BlazeDS. Apart from that, as you can see in the first point, that is contributing to open source community in the direct way. So we have products like Xamarin, Flex, BlazeDS, Spry, XMP. So these are the products which are highly used and these are completely open source. Apart from that,
you're saying these are open source, but is it like you can use?
All of them have different licensing, so we'll be talking about that. So, but none of them is GPL. Then some change. I mean, probably would be hating because if you think that it's not open source, or if you, I mean, that criteria is a different thing. Otherwise, do you actually? How many of you love Flash Player? We have opportunities. Okay, so how many of you know that Flash is open source or it is not open source? Okay, anybody else? Licensed as a completely copyright private proprietary software? Okay. Anybody else?
Basically, if you are doing something on web, you should use web standard. Make yourself as a web standard.
Okay.
Like this.
So Flash is not a public standard. However, the core of the Flash player, that is, it's called ActionScript Virtual Machine. The name is the virtual machine. So it's a runtime kind of thing. So that virtual machine is completely open source. You can just go to mozilla.org and you will get the complete sources. The JavaScript, the JET, and the just-in-time compiler, the
community who have written code that is contributed to Mozilla repositories you are talking about.
Oh no, I'm sorry. So actually, the first version was provided by Adobe only. Yeah. So you just search for Xamarin if you probably the Wi-Fi is right now not there. So you can just go to mozilla.org and search for Xamarin. I think it is mozilla.org/Xamarin. So that Xamarin is the same virtual machine that was provided by Adobe, and now it is open source, and you can go and contribute to it, and you can download it and do whatever. So the Xamarin is the code name for that virtual machine. So apart from that, we have Flex and BlazeDS, about which we will be talking today. The second way in which we are contributing is by contributing to the existing open source software, which are not provided by Adobe, but we are contributing to them. So one of them is WebKit, which today everybody is using and contributing. So it is being used in a lot of Adobe products. The most famous, popular, common of them are Acrobat and Air, Adobe Air. So both these products are making use of WebKit, and Adobe has actually invested a lot in contributing to those open source software. Apart from that, we have Eclipse. So Adobe has contributed a lot to Eclipse also, and of course indirectly, I mean, you can say that we are. So this is the small timeline which tells you when a product was made open source. So it's not a very recent chart, but it tells you the most important products that have been made open source and they are being extensively used by people. right? So cool stuff you must have seen either in the browser or on the desktop. So all these cool stuff you can create using the Flash platform. So this diagram tells you the breakup of the different browsers that are available today and their reach in the community. So if you see, so the orange color is Firefox and the blue is IE, and rest probably you can't, you can ignore for now. So first thing is there is a lot of, so many browsers are available there. So I assume that most of you must have created a website during some point of time. So, if you create a very simple website, just having a table and some divs and all that, then you actually need to run it in all the browsers just to make sure that it looks alike. Definitely, otherwise, it doesn't look alike. Here and there are some things which look in one way in one browser and the other way in the other browser, right? So, that is the other thing. The third thing is, the adoption of a browser. You can see that IE7 was launched in second quarter of 2006, and the adoption to around 50% of the market share was actually reached in second quarter of 2008, which is almost 2 years, right? So it took 2 years to reach to 50% of the market. So if suppose IE7 comes with pretty cool features or enhancements to HTML. People are talking about HTML5. So if they come up with something which provides you enhanced features or which are similar to Firefox or something like that, so you will actually, it will reach to your laptop or your computer in 2 to 3 years. So that is the adoption rate, right? Against this, if you talk about Flash, the adoption rate is extremely fast. So Flash Player 9 was released at the end of 2007, and by 2008, it is practically available on almost all the computers in the world. So the reach is more than 95%. Right? So the point here is that if you actually use Flash technology, you can reach most of all the computers in the world practically immediately. So it will not take time. Otherwise, I attended the Google conference some time back, so they were talking about HTML5, right? So I definitely love it. That is not the concern. They are actually working a lot, investing a lot of effort in that, able to make use of it. What if only 50% of the guys are able to make use of your application? The features in your application work only on some of the computers and not on the others. So that will actually spoil the whole effort that you have put into your application or your idea. So if you use the Flash technology, it is guaranteed that within 3 months or 6 months, all the computers in the world will have the latest Flash. So that's the advantage. Whichever you talk about, starting from Nokia, practically all the platforms are now. We are available on Android also, which is the latest platform that is available. Yeah.
Is it available for iPhone now?
Okay, I can't answer that question. The point is, no, I would not say it is not available. I would not say it is available. Right? So probably you can make something out of it. Now, we all know what is Flash Player. It's a plugin that runs in the browser, or it's a standalone. You can play your Swift in a standalone player. But what is Flash Platform? So I started my slide with Flash Platform, and you should use it. So what is Flash Platform? Okay, so the strip in the red, second from top, that contains Adobe Air and Adobe Flash Player. So whatever we talked about till now was just that red strip, right? So you have, Adobe has provided Flash Player. Adobe has provided a runtime, Air runtime, that you can, that will run your application, right? But that is not enough. But that is not enough, right? So just now we had a talk of how to develop applications or the tools, right? So you actually need tools also to develop your applications. Without tools, just providing a runtime or providing a cool Jazzy Flash Player will not work. You can't just go and open your notepad and write some stuff there and try to run an application. That will actually take time and will not be worth the effort. So this Flash platform, this complete thing contains the Flash player, and the tools. So on the left side, you can see the designer and developer tools. So these are the set of tools which, of course, I'm sorry to say these are not open source, and so I'll not be talking about them. But these are the tools that Adobe provides, and you can use them to create applications which will run on Flash player. Now, the tools are basically development environment. It is it will provide you the compilers, it will provide you a setup, so you don't need to do all the things in the command line. However, you still need a framework. You still need a set of libraries. Just now we had a discussion on what is a library. So a library is a set of components and modules which are already there, and you can just reuse them so that you don't need to reinvent the wheel, as it was just rightly said. So the third layer from the top, that is the gray layer, this consists of frameworks. So Adobe provides Adobe Flex framework, which you can make use of and create your applications very quickly. So a lot of components and modules would already be there. You just make use of them and create your applications very quickly. So this layer is actually open source, and I would be talking about this layer. And at the bottom of the stack is a set of services. So this would be applicable only if you are writing enterprise applications, and you would need support from the server side. So these are the applications that you can use. And on top of that are the set of the applications that have been created using all this Adobe Flash platform there. But of course the next question is, part of it has been clarified because the reach of the Flash player is good. But still, why should you learn the Flash platform? There already exist so many technologies in the world. So why to learn the Flash platform? So sometime back, Tech Republic came up with an article saying that these are the 10 things that a developer, if a developer has, it would be good for him for the next 5 years. So, like you should either be knowing .NET, Java, PHP, or you should be knowing rich internet applications. You must be doing some kind of web development using web services. You should have good soft skills, which is a requirement I think everywhere. And 5 more, probably you can go through the list. So what we are saying is that if you know Flash platform, probably we can take care of the 4 things. So you just learn one platform and your 4 things would be covered. Of course, we can't cover soft skills and agile methodologies, but I think it's easier to do that. So working with Flex, Air and Flash platform, your rich internet applications would be completely covered. After that, we have web services. So my colleague would be talking about BlazeDS, which is again an open source software and provides you a very rich set of web services that you can very easily use. And then we have ColdFusion, but of course this is not open source, so probably we can skip this. And then for mobile development, Flash platform is the best technology today. Because today if you know iPhone or Android or Nokia or BlackBerry, all of these platforms are coming up with their own technology. So if you are writing something for Android, you need to write an APK, that is the application name there. If you want that your application should run on all the mobile phones, it is just not possible if you use their technology, right? So there is, at least as of now, there doesn't exist any technology that runs on all the platforms. And we are actually looking towards making it happen. Probably in, very soon you will be seeing it. So the next few slides would be focusing just on the Adobe Flex framework, which was there in the Flex framework layer. And it is completely open source framework. It's highly productive because it contains so many components and very advanced components which have been developed by Adobe and then contributed by the open source community. So they have been improved over the long period of time and are very mature components. And you can build very expressive web applications which can run both in the browser and on the desktop. And they can be, and this is a very important point again, that it can be consistently deployed on all the major browsers and on the desktop. So you don't need to worry about that. You just create your application once. It will run on all the browsers and all the platforms and everywhere, all the mobile phones. So, it makes a lot of sense to learn a technology where you don't need to redo all the things for different platforms. Yeah, so what all is covered in the Flex SDK, open source, which is open source. So it contains the framework, that is a set of components and everything. It contains the compiler and the debugger and all the tools that you require. Yeah, I think he's not there. So he asked what is the licensing. So it is under MPL. So you can actually make changes and you can provide them back to the community. But of course, you don't need. You can use them in your commercial software and anywhere you want. So it's basically we copyleft, so you can use it. The third is we have public bug database, roadmap, and daily builds available. So you can just go and download yesterday's build and try it out and make use of it in your application. It's opensource.adobe.com/flex. Now, why we are doing this? So this is a framework, so it has to evolve every day. I mean, if today I have 10 components in my framework, probably those 10 components would not make sense tomorrow or after 6 months down the line. I mean, you keep on expecting newer effects, newer components, cool components, cool motions, transitions. So these things have to keep on evolving, and so we have actually made it open to the public to come and contribute to it as much as possible. It allows independent software vendors to use this Flex framework without actually any hassle, without actually worrying about much about the copyright issues and anything. So they can just bundle it and sell their products in whatever they want. So the area which is in gray is the Flex framework, and the thing outside in the blue is actually the IDE, which is not open source. And it is not necessary that you work with that same IDE. You can use anything. You can actually use command line, or there are other freely available tools also, which people have developed because this Flex framework is open source. So the languages that are supported by Flex framework are MXML and ActionScript. So ActionScript is the code language, and MXML is the XML version of that. So it's very similar to JavaScript. So both actually ActionScript and JavaScript have been derived from ECMAScript 4 only. Both are the same. So if you know JavaScript, actually the syntax would not be much of an issue for you. Then it contains libraries, which are basically the UI components and many more things, which I will be discussing next. And then the compiler and the debugging. So this is you can say the important list of UI components that are available. So we all know that whenever we see Flash UI, whenever we see a very rich and nice UI, we assume that it would be Flash, right? Because it provides you so many components, so many cool components that you don't need to write them again and again. They are already provided in the open source Flex framework. You just go and use them. So you just need to provide your data. You should have an idea of the application, what you want to do, and just use the components that are already there. So your effort would be minimum from your side. So the components are, these are the very basic components like data grid, tree list, tile list, and then we have media components also if you want to work with video or audio. Like if you want to create an application like YouTube, so you can actually quickly do that, very quickly do that. Then we have the container components. We have charting components. So charting component is being highly used in the enterprise market. So you want to show some reports and create charts and graphs, so you can easily do that. And then other data management and data validation and components like that, which are generally used like in form filling, whenever you want to fill a form. The one thing is you can actually create your own component. Okay, all these should be digits and all these should be alphabets, and you create your own parser and do that. But all those validators, if they are already available, it will avoid the rework. Yeah, the charting part is not open. The main things, layouts and components we already talked about. Data binding Flex framework provides. This is a very, very cool feature that is provided by Flex framework, data binding. So probably there is no point in discussing it right now. But if you start working with Flex applications, this is something which you would just love. These are the two compilers, MXMLC and COMC, that are provided with the Flex framework. So when I said that you can work with the command line, so yes, it is not that straightforward to work with the command line because you need to open Submitter and write the action script code. But what happens is, if I want to create a application quickly, and I have say 10 controls and some data there, so the code that I need to write would not be more than 200 lines. I mean, if I don't want very jazzy UI or very flashy UI, it would not be more than 200 lines. So if you're asked to write 200 lines of the notepad without using any IDE, probably it would not be that difficult if the end result is so good. So the idea is that because all the components are already available and you just need to make use of them, you can actually avoid purchasing the Flex Builder if you want, and you can just work with the these compilers. Sorry. So if you want really advanced and helpful product, no, I'm not talking about the Flex. I mean that is a supreme act. So there is one called Aptana, but that is not open source. Sorry to say, society. So people are developing source. You can just some plugins are available. So you can use the GIF, put in some plugins, and you can get the basic programming and so you would write your program in XML, MXML and ActionScript, and you would make use of Flex library and compile it using MXMLC and COMC compilers. It would give you a Swift file directly. Inside the browser, Flash Player would be installed. You would just put in your Swift file, open the Swift file as a URL, and it would run. The other way in which you can do it is outside the browser. That is running an application as a desktop application. So there, instead of using Flash Player, Adobe has provided Adobe Air Runtime, AIR. So you can just install this runtime on your desktop, and then before that, you create your application again using MXML, ActionScript, and Flex Flash library. It's the same, everything is the same, there is no difference. And you just compile and package it, and it would never be available in the browser. So if you want these things to work in your application, you need to create a desktop application. I mean, what will happen on the client side for people, for your customers? This is a simple clarification. So all Flex is Flash. That is what created using a Flex framework. So you can actually create Flash using different other mediums also. Like there is a product called Catalyst. There is a product called Flash Authoring. So earlier in the very earlier versions when Flex was not there, so and today also, if you want to create Flash-based movies or things like that, you use Flash Author tool. You can actually create Flash, and that doesn't have the Flex framework. Support for CSS. So whatever CSS that you use for HTML, you just pick it up. How many of you guys use okay. So then you must be using Flickr Uploader also, which is provided by Flickr. It is a 15 MB software. And what it does is, it just uploads your photos to Flickr, right? And it's a 15 MB download. Sorry? Yeah, I mean, that's a small part of the functionality, right?
But that is also functionality, right?
No, that is correct. That is correct. My point is, basic functionality of that uploader is to upload, right? I mean, otherwise they would have renamed it to a recycle. Of course it is. I agree with that. But what point I am trying to make is, there also exists a desktop application whose size is just 1.5 MB. It provides you a complete browser for Flickr and also provides you an uploader with all the functionality that Flickr uploader provides. So when we talk about size, it is actually not an issue. You can create very small applications because there already exists a Flash Player in the browser, right? So it will take care of everything for you. This is an application called Toward the Flex. This has been created by some evangelists in Adobe only. It's a very good application. In case you are considering to work on Flex framework, do try to install this application. What it does is, it provides you a list of all the components that are available in Flex. It provides you samples, so you can just click, say suppose you want to use a data grid, you click on it, it will show you a data grid. And then it will show you what all parameters, if you specify how it will change and look like. So you actually don't need to create a test application first and see how it will look like. In this application, it will give you samples, demos, and everything. So if you want to get a feel of Flex framework before actually starting to make use of an application, just install this free application. And it will provide you all the links and everything, what is the capabilities of Flex framework. For all the platforms. So this is the link opensource.adobe, sorry. opensource.adobe.com/svn/opensource/flex/sdk. This is the place where you can search repository for SVN repository for Flex, so you can just download the sources. This is the Flex builder. In case you want to use it, why I am putting up a slide for Flex builder, which is a proprietary software here, because there is a small surprise. So this, for all the students here, for all the people who are not employed, who are not working with any company, this is a free software, freely available software. Sorry, which is free of cost and everything. And the Flex builder, but you can't install it. The license is available. You have to go to the Adobe site and fill in a registration form. You need to submit a scanned copy of your registration ID or something. I forgot what exactly it is. But it has to go with your. How many of you are thinking of starting? Well, you have all the doubts, so you can ask them. Will you still hate Flash? I mean, if we love Flash, if we love Flash, we should not just see the content, we should create the content. I mean, that's a proper love. Otherwise, people are creating and they're just saying.
I'm supposed to actually use an operating system which I don't really want to use, just because I have to come over to Windows to actually work on the Flash ID. So, do you get the point?
Flash ID.
No, Flex framework is
I'm
available.
not talking about Flex.
Okay. Which ID you are talking about?
I'm talking about Flash.
Okay, Flash author tool you are talking about. Okay.
So, I mean, why shy away from Linux? Why not? I mean, I don't know. Just
Maybe you people should launch the Flash ID.
I mean, probably browser everywhere. So this is a big plus. Fix that it has. It will be more in competition with PowerPoint than with Flash, I suppose. Because in Flash, you can do like a lot of things that you cannot even think of doing in HTML5, like pure HTML. Yeah.
Examples, please.
Example, any sort of. I'm not a Flash guy, but what I've seen in Flash. So that's what I'm saying. Probably, okay, one thing I would say is Microsoft still hasn't said yes to HTML5. In fact, they are saying no to HTML5. So you can't expect to see the content in IE, right? Second, report has to work outside the browser. So if they are going to provide it outside the browser, probably would need a separate runtime. There are things like accepting the device. If you attach a device, will it accept it or not? There are things like offline support. So there is a very limited offline support that you can do with HTML5 according to the specifications. So there are a lot of features today which are not there in HTML5 spec if you go through.
So what is Microsoft